Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Allison Cruz, and I'd like to welcome you to a little game called The Swapper. It's an atmospheric, side-scrolling, platforming game of sorts, and without spoiling too much, I think the less you know about this game, the more you'll enjoy it. So with that being said and done, let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so here we are. Now, because this is a Steam game and it has the basic operations of most side-scrolling games with the WASD platforming, and it's not too bad. You can aim with our pad here. I'm actually using a touchpad to play this, and it's not that bad. A lot of people are probably going to give me shit for that, but that's okay. I guess that's like the equivalent of playing like Guitar Hero with a controller, I guess, but it's not really that bad. So, anyway, God, the atmosphere of this game and the music is incredible. These are our checkpoints, and here we've got elevators. We can go and use E to activate them. Amongst other things, you want to be careful because you can actually get crushed by the lifts. So, yeah, just look at this game. It's amazing. So, Site 24. This isn't a very long game, but
Excavation Site 24 on planet 4E5. All off-world transport.
actually, one moment here. Let's take a look. Okay, so it's hard to, for some reason, it doesn't tell you when subtitles are on or off, but I think doing that is going to turn them on, and that'll just make it easier for us. There we go.
Installation. All finds property of the Sisyphus project.
Alright. Alright, so let's go head down over here. Let's see what we got. Here is the first half of the main mechanic of this game, which might not surprise you. Try holding and releasing the right mouse button in an open space. Huh, interesting. Well, yep. We get to create clones in this game. They operate exactly as you do, and they'll do anything you want, barring, you know, them being in a position where they can't move. So if I'm controlling this guy over here on the left, if I can't move forward, I can keep making him move forward, and vice versa. Just things like that. If you touch the clone, it'll get rid of them, and there's going to be a lot to do with puzzles in terms of clone usage, because you can only have 4 clones at once, and we also get another piece of equipment to help us a little bit later. And this is where the puzzle-solving aspect comes into play. We've got an obstacle here we can't go past, but there's a button up here that we can't reach. Can you guess what we have to do? There we go. Now, you can only place clones in areas that are visible to you, so you can't place them through stone and put them up here. They have to be in direct view. So just be wary that there's going to be copious amounts of death in this game. So if that makes you a little bit nauseous to see ragdoll physics, keep that in mind. So we have a nice little pit here. Same thing. Go and put that there. And then we can go and put another one over here. I don't think we're actually close. That's not a pit, is it? I don't think it's a pit. No, never mind. And he's pressing this button right over here. Never mind. For some reason, I thought that was a pit. I have not played this in about a year, but I have beaten it in its entirety, and we will be covering everything there is to do in this game. It's finding all the hidden rooms and getting all the orbs, which I believe there are 124, and we'll be dealing with that. Now, these checkpoints, unfortunately, will be the harbinger of my little buddy's deaths. It's disappointing. Also, we've got memory terminals, and we'll be finding all of these. These are actually really interesting. Log number 1. Listen, we're grateful, but to be frank, half my team refused to be in the same room as one of those swapper devices. I hardly envisage their use becoming widespread enough to justify the security precautions you've had installed down here. Interesting. So let's continue onwards. Also in the back, every so often you'll see these billboards that show you a miniature display of your map. I will be referring to this pretty often, in all honesty. Let's continue.
Broadcast location, Mine Science Laboratory, Space Station Theseus.
What you're telling me isn't possible. Tell me who I just ejected into space.
So, we can't exactly get over here yet because, well, it's a little too far to jump, and there's no way we can reach it. So let's go head off over here and see what we can find in this cavernous area. Well, we get to the other half of our swapper device, or I guess this could be more aptly named the swapper, because this actually allows us to take control of the clones that we just created, which brings a lot of questions to what... Never mind, I don't want to spoil too much of it, because it's like, wait, I thought that was us, but now this is us. And this is probably where a lot more of your creativity is going to come into mind. Also, speedrunning tactics and such. So, clones can't be created inside blue light. Unfortunately, you can't make clones in them, but you can still use your swapper and shoot and make them into that. So we'll be doing that to great extent here in a moment, as we go place that guy up there. And now we can go over here. Continue forward. What is this? Alright, and, you know, the red light does the opposite. It blocks swap arrays. So we can't use our swapper, but we can make clones in here. So that's pretty interesting, actually. I want to get rid of you, and we'll place you right there to get rid of the big red. And there we go. So what do we got over here? Log number 2. I need a security orb. I've been planetside for weeks. I cannot get clearance back to Theseus. Help me out? I can't. I want to see my husband as much as you do yours. Well, damn it. That sucks. God, this game, it's... Let's go over here. Oh, we've got another one. Oh, no, this is just a regular console. Sometimes these will activate things.
I have a rescue team on the way. They'll be here in a day's time. Why not? There must be something we can...
It's a little scary. This kind of reminds me of BioShock, because the female who's talking to you, she's kind of like, I don't know, just reminds me of it. Dig Site B. We'll be coming back there in a while. Let's go run over here. And here we've got ourselves a large teleport system. It's offline. And we need an encryption orb in order to activate it. So hopefully we'll be able to find one of those fairly shortly. What's this? Log number 3. We need a faster turnaround down here. The last shift was supposed to go home 6 hours ago. Instead, you've got them shipping back more rock samples. They're tired. Please advise. Yeah. Well, in the immortal words of our ship in Pikmin 2, it's always good to take a break sometimes.
I won't do it.
Little scary. Alright, so here we got to place this clone over here on this switch to get rid of that red light, and then activate this. Now these orbs you see, clones can't collect them. You actually have to physically grab them. So even though there's a clone there, you actually need to take control of the clone in order to do that. So keep that in mind for future projects, because... that didn't sound very good. Alright, well, let's activate the teleporter and hop right on in to the space station Theseus. But now it's offline, so now we can't return there. Not that we would really have to. This game is fairly linear. It does have a lot of branching paths, so you might think it's a little bit like Metroid and you can explore a bit. But for the most part, they just lead to rooms with puzzles, which is mostly what this game consists of. So let's continue over here, where we're going to find our first encounter with these mysterious rocks that they've been transporting back and forth. Hello? I didn't... That was strange. Anytime you pass them, they'll tell you the same message, which gets kind of annoying, but you don't have to do it too often. Oh. So there's another rock up there. Also another room we'll be going to a little bit later. Huh. Interesting. It's a little nerve-wracking. Ooh, Section 2 research. Alright, let's head over here. And we got ourselves another one of these. Is there anything over there? There's not. Alright, so you want to be careful because if you fall from too high a height, you will die. And it's not very forgiving. You can't fall very high, but it won't really matter, as we'll see later on as we enter the gardens. But for now, let's continue onward. The limits of language are the limits of knowledge. Our name was not their knowledge. They thought of us as watchers. Watchers, you say? Now, what's interesting, if we take a look at our notes here, in our memory log, we've actually got watcher memos, which will tell you exactly what they said, and it keeps it logged. So if you ever want to refer to those and get a little bit more insight, you can do so there. So now we've got the concept of grabbing things, and it's not really that bad. It's just weird having to press D and E at the same time to move. I don't know. We can't make clones in here because it's all shrouded in blue, so just keep that in mind. That's why it's like that. Oh. Well, this sucks. Now, something I don't really like about this game, and it's going to sound weird, but we need one more encryption orb. There's a concept known as hidden rooms. That's where you get your Steam achievements, is by finding all of them. This game gives you zero indication as to where they are, except for a couple. But this first one that we're going to find, there's going to be one in each main area of this game. So let's take a look at these guys. The world is the limit of thought. The limit of thought is the chain of hearers like me. I cannot speak if they cannot listen. Very insightful. What about you? What is where? How is where? Does where tick? Perhaps? We know only of the minds in our chain. You choose your chain in a dimension we do not know. Now this area is actually a dead end, and there's nothing else for us here. You'll see certain things like here, like obstacle, as well as mysterious rock sample. We'll be returning there shortly. That's that area I was telling you guys about before. And we also need 2 orbs in order to access that console. But you'll notice it's a dead end here. Well, this is actually the location of our first hidden room. And I guess you're supposed to be tipped off by the fact that you can still see your outline while you're up here. Whereas if you go out of bounds, it disappears. But why would you try it anywhere? And then we're going to go ahead and place it right over there and swap so that we're in this weird alcove you can't see or had any indication that it existed. And when you head over here, you have yourself a secret room. So press E to interact with it. Message from home. By the time you receive this message, Theseus, you should have arrived at your designated coordinates and begun installation procedures. We have already dispatched the first of your yearly supply shuttles. This is an unprecedented opportunity for us all. The people of this planet owe you a great debt. Interesting. So, what I just did there in getting up here with the clones is something we'll be utilizing quite a bit in this game. And it's mostly just to get to higher areas and such, but as you saw there, I kind of sacrificed my clone in order to get to areas I normally wouldn't have been able to, or survive drops I normally wouldn't have been able to. We'll get into that a little bit later, but let's go ahead inside this door.